Hi guys, I hope you can hear me. I figured it was time for an update, and I had so much I wanted to say over the past several days, but didn't get the opportunity, and really have been so emotional I just didn't want to do a video. And at least for the moment I'm not crying, so I'll be able to maybe say a few things. But again, first of all, I had such a huge response from so many awesome people, men and women, and I read every single one. I particularly love the videos, and you know who you are, because I just feel like we're having a conversation when I get to see those videos. And while I'm doing my chemo, I'm going to have all sorts of time on my hands. So if you feel like doing a video response, that would be awesome. Anything is going to be great. It's funny because I was looking back at some of the topics that I was really interested in talking about before I was diagnosed with cancer again, and I was just looking at the topics, and it's great right now that I'm smiling about it and sort of thinking, isn't that funny? But it's not funny at all. I was talking about and wanted to talk more about transitioning on the job, coming out to 220 firefighters as a trans guy. I wanted to talk about hating my body so much that I got cancer and the subtle signs of ovarian cancer, which I still think is a video that needs to be done, especially from our point of view, because it's such a shitty thing to have to talk about, you know, when I'm sure most of you are like me. You just get so good at detaching from the parts of you that don't align with your mind that it's like they don't exist. But like I've said before, they can kill you. And ovarian cancer is known as the silent killer for a reason. But I'm not going to do that video right now. And then another topic that I won't be needing to do, but somebody else might get something from this, is I was thinking about my name, and when I first got on YouTube, I had to sort of I didn't want to use my birth name, so I had to come up with a name, and I love the name Brad, and I love the name Brandon, and Bradley, I think would have been my choice for my formal name, and it kind of goes in line with the other two kids in my family. I won't say their names, but I don't know if I had the idea or somebody gave me the idea, but I thought when I came out to my mom and dad, I would ask them to rename me. And I thought, how cool would that be? You know, if I were born the way I should have been born, what would you have named me if I had been a boy appearing? And I thought that would be really cool to get them involved, but also just what a conversation that would be. Anyway, in place of those conversations, I looked online for conversations that might have been had about coping when transitioning is not an option. I mean, what I mean by that is when being on testosterone is not an option. And all I found was guys that were talking about being on T was not an option for them at the moment or at that time in their lives, but you know, having to wait because of whatever reasons. But I'm sure there's some other guys out there that have medical reasons why they can't. But so right this minute, I actually feel like I'm coping. I'm really, what I am doing is not crying, which is the first time today and for the past several days. Jake said it really well. He said to me, you went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and I literally saw my videos and I looked at the time frame is staggering how close these two videos were, where in one video I had my T letter in my hand, and the next video my diagnosis of a reoccurrence or a new cancer. I thought, well, that's interesting. Go from T letter in hand to IV pole in the other hand. So my surgery is going to be the 13th, and after recovery I'll start my chemo. But what's happened between the last video and now is that all the hormones that I was taking, which were replacing all the natural hormones that I would have been making, and they were all within the normal female range. So it was very, very little bit of testosterone, and estrogen and progesterone and DHEA. And I asked my doctor to give me the absolute most he could give me of the testosterone, and he understood what I wanted, but he could only give me the maximum dose for female. But it was enough that I was actually, at least had a sex drive. I had a grip on my emotions. I wasn't having all the symptoms that have now rushed back, because now I'm not on any. My body makes none. I have no hormones. So hot flashes, and if you've never experienced a hot flash, I hope you never do. They're not as severe as they were right after my hysterectomy, after I had ovarian cancer the first time, but they're still there, and it's like this inside out heat, and at least I'm not pouring sweat and leaving sweat marks in the bed at night like I did, but they're back. Not so bad. But really having a hard time controlling my emotions until right this minute. And this one really sucks. I have no ambition and no sex drive, which sucks. I mean, I am depressed, and the worst part of it all is this, and this is the brutal reality. The first time I was diagnosed with cancer, I reacted in my typical productive way, which was, cancer? Bring it on. And it was a fight. And I wore my camouflage, outfit to, like, little G.I. Joe to my chemo, because it was a fucking battle and I was going to kick its ass. And I was really positive, and was really up for the fight. And this time I just don't feel like I have the fight, and I know I have to get it back by the 13th, because this is no way to go in. But the truth is that where I am is this, what I have to look forward to, to fight for my life, potentially, we'll see, to get back to where I was, which was